Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us on this platform.
It's indeed a pleasure, and it's been great associating with Collegedunia. Thank you for taking my interview. I think I'm privileged. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, you have held key positions at education institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector? And can you also tell us about your experience in the education industry so far?
Yeah, actually, since 2004, I have been associated with the education sector. So my entire career, if you see, it's only into education. So I started my career as the professor and then upgraded myself to the director, deputy director, and the CEO level position. So I know education from the the nascent stages when the new MBAs and BBAs started into the country. People were not aware about whether to choose BBA and MBA. So I'm really privileged that education industry has taught me so much. So if you talk about the key factors, the basic factor which I see is the role of an education institution should be to future-proof students. And most of the institution, if you see now, it's mushrooming. All the education institutions or the business schools are mushrooming into India, but we are lacking in certain parts. I have realized that instead of future-proofing people, what we are doing is, or a lot of education institutions are doing in terms of money-making machine. So it's the responsibility of an education institution to provide skill-based education. Though now if you see the new current policy, if you see the education policy which has come up, people are talking about education, talking about skill-related courses, which we should have done earlier as well. So we never thought that skill-based education is really necessary, and because of which we were imparting them the education which was skill-less, and because of which if you see today the unemployment rate, whether the person is MBA or BTech, they are just working as a sales professional. So starting from, I'm working with some of the projects with the higher education and the government of India as well, where I have proposed them certain things where starting from the childhood itself, it's important for us to gauge the track record of the student, and since the beginning of the childhood, we should start imparting some kind of a skill-based education system to the students, and it should be the responsibility of the higher education that we should make them employable. So this is something which always have given me a kind of power, I can say, or the motivation that I want to do something for the youth of India in terms of providing employability. I really don't want to work with any institution where education is only because of money. I want to link it. Money is definitely the part of it, but the major part and the goal and the objective of every education institution must be to make them future-proof, provide them requisite skill, which is required in future. So our education system should be futuristic. Not that today what I need. It should be futuristic, that after 10 years down the lane, what kind of a requirements I can see in education system. Are we providing that kind of a skills to our students or no? If no, it means we are going wrong somewhere. So that is something the key point for me is, and I'll always connected to this education system only because of the factor, because I think I can bring change into the education system of India. Yeah.
Ma'am, being the group CEO and director of Regenesys Institute of Management, what is your philosophy of leadership? How would you describe your leadership style?
Okay, so I'm a kind of a leader. I will not say that I am an authoritarian leader, or I am a diplomatic leader, or I am an assertive leader. I am a person who is a team player, and a person or a kind of a leader who does not make opinions about anything. So for me, the leadership rule is, it's like a sanitary napkin. It should not be colored with anything. So once you are sitting in a board meeting, everybody has got the rights to give opinions. And that opinion should not be colored in terms of perception. So perception is something which is based on the experiences. But these days, and the leaders, what they do is they just make opinions on the basis of probably gossips, and basis of politics, on basis of your preliminary thoughts or opinions that person has given. So that should not be done. And I am a team player, and for me, my team is really, really important. Whether it's my subordinates, whether it's my students, whether it's my external stakeholders, very important. And that's what I always think, that I need to imbibe that kind of the philosophy into the students as well, because I can see students are lacking in it. We jump into the conclusions very soon, and we all does that, and that's the biggest problem of Indian youth, I can see. And that's what the problem I can also see in my team. So I always tell them, don't react, respond to the situation. And you can only respond when you think through, when you sleep over the matter, when you don't make any opinions about any person. Take it the way it is, and then when you are a team player, I think you can extract maximum out of your team. That's what I think.
So ma'am, when you first came to Regenesys Institute of Management, what was your vision for the university? And has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you?
It's a beautiful question. When I started 5 years back, my vision was, I never think I want to be the best institution of the India, because I know I cannot compete with people like Symbiosis or SPJN or Nasim Munjis. We cannot do it. But I wanted to be seen as a differentiator, especially in the lives of the students. The way I've mentioned earlier, I want to be known for developing people or developing students who are future ready. When I say future ready, we need to develop them in terms of certain skills which is required 5 years down the lane and 10 years down the lane. So that kind of a thing, I saw that there's a huge requirement in South Africa. There was a huge skill gap which was there in South Africa, and you won't believe, around almost 3 to 4 months, I was stationed in South Africa just to study what kind of a skills my students require, because they'll pass out after 2 years. And after 2 years, what do they need? And we mapped our curriculum accordingly. And my vision was to be a differentiator into the life of the students, and that's what I have been doing since past 5 years. And I think up to certain extent, we could able to achieve it, but we are still thriving and striving to achieve and to reach to that level where I want to be seen as, okay, Regenesys means future proofing and my future is secured. That kind of a feeling a student gets from Regenesys, I think that would be the day I see that my vision is accomplished. Not yet. I'm still onto the path.
Ma'am, your institute has students coming from different backgrounds and countries. How do you build a positive culture or climate?
See, we get students from different countries, we get students from different states, and every student in it itself is a very unique. So the basic problem happens, or basic problem lies in when we start using carrot and stick approach. When when we start using the carpet bombing approach. I consider all my batch as a same student and start delivering into the same way. But what I think is, you need to use carrot and stick approach. Every individual, every student, in terms of aspirations, in terms of their personality, in terms of outcomes they are looking for, they are different. And you need to treat them individually. You can't have a one fixed mechanism to treat with all the students. So we ensure at Regenesys that we take care of individual students, imbibe them with the skills what they are looking for, not the entire batch is looking for. I don't want to have a personality development class where one student is lacking in complete English and one student is fluent in English, but he does not know how to crack the interview. So the requirement of each and every individual is different. So being into the education industry, it's important to map down the requirements and the gaps, existing one and where they want to reach. And if you fulfill that, if you try to provide solution to that problem, I think you will able to do that. And what I think is education is not an education, it's a solution. It's a solution to a problem. And unfortunately, we have never seen education as a solution towards anything. We have every time seen education as a knowledge base. But what is the point having knowledge when you don't have the experience linked to it, when you don't understand the real motto of getting knowledge? Because knowledge, you can take it from YouTube also. So this is precisely we do at Regenesys, and this is, I think, this will definitely make the difference into the lives of students.
What are some of the biggest challenges you see both for higher education in general and for Regenesys Institute of Management specifically?
Very good question. So when I say employability, so everybody, whenever we get students into our campus for any of the course, the first thing they want to do is, ma'am, will I get the job or no? But they don't realize that's the destination. And we all focus on destination instead of focusing on the journey. So job is nothing but you can consider it as a good dish, which is the combination of very good ingredients. Whether you say spices, whether you say vegetables, whether you say puree, whether you say anything else. So the journey is very important towards the destination. And they don't realize it, that they will not get job until and unless they complete their journey. And they entered into the self-pity zone, they entered into the fearful zone, which is a biggest problem these days. So the basic challenge for me is to convert their mindset that please focus on journey rather than destination is very important. Because if I'll not drive smoothly, I'll not be able to reach to the destination. And that's what they don't realize it. And when they don't realize it, they enter into the fearful zone, they enter into the traumatic zone, they start calling their parents. And what happens is they lose the track. And when they lose the track, what happens? They were the material for employability, but they become implaceable because they don't have the sound brain or they don't have the sound mindset, which they could have done. So that's how we do a lot of counseling with our students, because I think the journey is really, really important. And we only can give them the right direction and the right ingredients to have that journey. And be able to do that, I think destination is not far. Destination is really, really possible. And these are my biggest challenges still now. I mean, changing mindset of people. I mean, changing mindset of this generation, especially millennials. It's not easy. They already have their own opinions. They're already into touch with, a lot of people, I don't know, good or bad. They are into YouTube, they are into TikTok, they are already exposed to the word. And they think whatever we are saying does not matter at all. But whatever we say because of experience. And that's what I think it's lacking between millennials and zennials. And that's what we are trying to achieve with the education system.
As private universities continue to mushroom across the country, how does your institute stand apart from others?
Simple. I try to future-proof my students by forecasting the future skills requirement. Our institution, I think I'm blessed to have a private institution where I don't have to think about the board of studies or different kind of boards where I need to take permission. I mean, years and years to change the education, to change the content also. Leave about the pedagogy, but even to change the content, you need to have, I don't know how many hours of meeting you sit through, and then also you cannot change the content. So I think I'm privileged that I can change and amend my curriculum with regards to industry specific requirements. So my curriculum or the Regenesys curriculum is more industry specific. Whatever is required in the industry, we inbuilt into our curriculum and we teach them so that they are skilled and future proofed, and that's how they become employable. I don't want to generate unemployable youth. I want to generate, Regenesys wants to generate employable youth. And that's what I think my goal is, my vision is, and that's what we are striving for.
How do you look at the placement opportunities offered by a university, and how do you plan to push the envelope further?
See, there are, in terms of placements, placement is, the way I mentioned earlier, placement is nothing but the outcome. We cannot think of outcome until and unless there is no right inputs. So the first point, being educationist or being the part of education institution, we have to do is we need to put right inputs. If inputs are correct, if I am thinking about 5 years, if I am teaching them something in terms of AI, which is required after 10 years, if I'm teaching them virtual reality, which is required after 10 years, and I can see that X number of jobs will be available by 2025, and I am teaching them today, I really don't see that there is a problem in terms of unemployability or in terms of placement. Placement is not a problem. Right placement is a problem. I can also place students in the sales sector, go and sell LIC policies. But is this employment? Is this should be considered as I'm not saying LIC policy is bad. See, I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is, if you have done your MBA, if you have done your BTech, so you should able to do job in your own field, in your desired field, or in the field which you are looking for. It should not be that I have forced you for LIC or I have forced you for the selling job. I don't want to do that. So for that, inputs are required. So right content, right pedagogy, right mindset. If we develop that, I think placements is definitely not a problem. Whether it's in India or abroad, everybody is looking for skilled resources. And if we have the skilled resources, if we have the right mechanism in place, if we think that every student is unique, their requirements are unique, and we develop them according to their own personality rather than what we want them to be, I think India will be different or apart from many other countries in that direction.
Any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring youth?
Yeah, they should not reach to conclusion very fast. They should not make opinions very fast about any of the situation. They should not react, they should respond. Patience is something which is very, very important, and they don't have it. And most important thing is emotional quotient of the people. They neither think about their emotional quotient, they nor give importance to their physical quotient, which is very important for your bright future. How many of the students, when they come to our campus, I tell them, guys, early morning, you need to get up early morning and you need to do yoga. And the one thing they say is, why yoga? I mean, I don't need yoga. I say, I tell them, it's not about today, your body is reacting in that way. It's about after 10 years, how your body and mind will react. And yoga is not about physical well-being. It's all about your mental and emotional well-being. You have to be emotionally sound human being, then only you can take the right decision. And it's very important to learn. But these days, everybody is running behind money and the good packages, and I need 10 lakh package, I need 20 lakh package. They don't see what impact they are giving to their body, mind, and to themselves. Because if you manage your physical well-being, mental well-being, I think job is not a problem. You can definitely get job. If you have a right mental framework, you will do best of the things. And if you do best, you will get best. So for me, inputs, the way I said earlier, inputs are really, really important. Put your best to get best. If you are sowing the seed of apple, you cannot expect mango to be grown after 10 years. So give right ingredients, right fertilizers to your mind, brain, and your physical well-being. Trust me, getting jobs with high packages is really not difficult. So I say that seek excellence, success will follow.
Thank you so much for that insight, ma'am. It was a much needed insight, and I'm sure the viewers will actually gain a lot of information and your personal insights from this interview.
Thank you very much. It's been pleasure coming here, and I really want to wish luck to all the students who are under the situation of COVID-19, thinking when and what will happen to their future. Hey guys, nothing gonna happen. 1 year will not make any difference. Live your life. Happiness is really, really important. Try to and learn, rather, not try, learn to live happy life, contentful life, which I think is really missing in this world. So, yeah. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure connecting with you.